There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino is the name, and in this video, we're going to clear up once and for all this middleman terminology when it comes to government contracts. So I see a lot of people curious about the middleman, what a middleman is, how to be a middleman, all of that kind of thing. I see a lot of people who are in government contracts and criticizing the middleman terminology, saying that doesn't make any sense. You're not a middleman. Stop saying middleman. I see a lot of this. I see a lot of it. Now, the truth is, middleman is being confused with something else on both sides, right? Because I think that a lot of the people who I know who do government contracts, they confuse somebody saying they want to be a middleman with somebody saying they want to be a subcontractor. So they say, hey, don't say middleman, say subcontract. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of it. I just saw some videos today. People saying, no, that's the improper terminology. You don't want to be a middleman. Use the terminology subcontractor, right? Now, is that the proper terminology even? Is that the proper terminology? No. That's not even though, don't be wrong. Okay, so subcontractor, contractor, prime, whatever, those are proper terminologies when it comes to doing government contracts. You'll get a contract and it may say you can subcontract out this much work, or don't subcontract out none of this project, or whatever. Like they use the word subcontract, they use the words prime, they use the words contractor. They use these terms. They don't use the term middleman, okay? So what is it that we are saying, or somebody, I didn't use the terminology, at least I don't believe I've ever used the term middleman when it comes to government contracts. I know I've used subcontractor, I know I've used prime, I know I've used contractor, I know I've used those terminologies. I don't believe I ever used the term middleman, but I do understand it. Why are we getting upset that people want to be middleman? They want to do middleman contracts, whatever that is, I guess. I guess the part that upsets people is the fact that people don't know what they're talking about, I guess, right? But people never know what they're talking about. They don't know what a subcontractor is until you explain it. They don't know what a prime contractor is until you explain it. And even then, even people who do government contracts, I just saw a guy today misunderstand what middleman is, and he does government contracts. He thinks it means subcontractor. That is not what middleman means. Now, it can mean that, but let me explain. Okay, first off, the term middleman means, hey, well, you know, it's being said, hey, you go out, you win a contract, and then you be the middleman. You subcontract out the work. That is meaning that you are a prime. So middleman actually means prime. Middleman means prime. Middleman means prime contractor. Now, what is a prime contractor? You won the contract. This is your contract. Once you subcontract out the work, or you sub some of the work out, then that person becomes a subcontractor. So the prime contractor is the one who bid and won the contract. This is what the original terminology of being a middleman came from. You go out, you win a contract, and you find somebody to do the work. That's what the idea of middleman is. Now, of course, middleman is not the proper terminology. It's not the proper terminology for prime contractor. I believe when they were using the term middleman, it was only to get it to where people can understand it. Now, myself, personally, I have myself had conversations with people And I'm using terms like prime contractor, subcontractor, this and that. And I'm explaining it to street guys. Now, they don't get it. They don't get it. You know, oh, that's the prime. You the prime? Who's the prime on this contract? They don't get it, right? And then they're trying to explain to them, hey, well, you can win a contract to do plumbing and not be a plumber. You can subcontract the work to a plumbing company if the contract allows for you to do so. Some of them do. A lot of them do, right? So if you're allowed to subcontract out a certain portion or the main part of that work, then me explaining that to my street guys, I'm saying, hey, you just the middleman. They'll say, oh, I get it. I get that. They didn't get it before. They didn't get it. It's like, hey, well, you win the contract, then you subcontract out the work. Well, how's that beneficial to me? Oh, see, well, you get it for this price, and you get them to do it for this price. So you just really the middleman. Or they may even say, oh, I'm just the middleman. So I'm just taking my cut off the top then. Yeah, that's it, right? Now, this does not mean that there isn't still business that needs to be done. You still have to run a business. And I think that that's the other part that people who are saying, hey, I want to do middleman contracts, or I want to learn how to be the middleman in a government contract. When people are coming and saying these things and these terms, it is upsetting people who do government contracts all the time. And they think in their mind that this person is saying they want to be a subcontractor. But no, this person is saying they want to be a prime. They want to win a prime contract, and then they want to subcontract out the work. Now, you can still be a subcontractor in the middleman strategy. Let me give you a prime example. Let's say I get a contract. I'm gonna use an actual contract that I've gotten, right? So I get a contract to clean dorms. Clean some dorms, college dorms, right? I get a contract. Contract says, hey, I'm gonna pay you this much money to do this contract. I take that contract. I say, okay, well, it's about a week long. All right, well, I got this budget, and I go to another person and I say, hey, do you have a crew of people who can clean? They say, yeah, I got a crew of people who can clean. I say, all right, well, this is how much I can afford to pay you. Now, you're going to be responsible for paying your people, but this is my budget. And if you can do it inside of my budget, then you can get this job. They say, okay. They do the job. I got a certain amount of money from the prime contractor as their sub, and then I sub the job to another sub. That, ladies and gentlemen, in layman's terms, is middleman, okay? That's the middleman. I was the middle of the middle. You know what I'm saying? Pause. I don't know how I like that sound. But yes, can you be a middleman in any of these situations? Absolutely. But there is still business that must be done. I still have to run QuickBooks. I still have to make sure people are at work on time. I still have to do these things. Okay? Whose fault is it that people, I don't want to say this. I'm going to say it. Whose fault is it that people are dumb? So everybody who's upset about the middleman concept or terminology, please understand that it's just somebody using it for layman's term. That still don't mean that people don't got to do business or be smart enough to conduct real business. Because even if you're doing subcontract work, there's people who are not doing real business who are doing subcontract work. So they're using the proper terminology and still have no idea what they're doing. They're prime contractors who still have no idea what they're doing. Therefore, it doesn't matter if they're using the middleman terminology. What they're saying, when they're saying they want to be a middleman, they're saying they want to be a prime. And they want to subcontract as much of the work as they can, or all of the work, if it allows for that. If it allows for that. Because I promise you, if there is a contract for me to do a plumbing job or a construction job, I'm not doing none of the construction work myself. I'm not a plumber. There is a percentage of this business, though, that I can do in order to satisfy, more than likely, a portion of this contract that can't be subbed out. A contract may say 10% of the job must be done by the prime. So the middleman must do 10% of this job, maybe, in certain situations. In certain situations, I got to do 10% of this, right? But for the skilled labor, say it's a construction job, I may have to do none of that. But I may have to do checklists, run inventory, make payroll, like run payroll, have meetings. I may have to do those things, but the job itself, I'm not scaling no building. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. Or I'm going to hire somebody internal, maybe, and do it that way. But a lot of people do that kind of stuff and still pay people $10.99. They still contractors. They're still contractors. But, either way, whatever, there's plenty of that. All of these organizations that supply labor force, especially in construction, they'll give you a whole construction team. You don't do any of that yourself. They'll give you all of that. So it's plenty of, this moonlight going crazy. But it's plenty of, Mr. Solario, I'm in here recording. Now, see, he does subcontract work, He does subcontract work. He's a contractor, And Mr. Solario, do you know what it means to be a middleman?
Middleman?
Yeah. So, like, if I say...
Between the actual customer and the general contractor, and you're the middleman in between?
All right, let's say like this. Like, I get a contract. I want a contract.
Right.
And then I call you.
Yeah, that's
right?
the middleman.
That's the middleman,
that's
right?
The middleman.
That you understand that, right? Yeah. These people are so confused as to what a middleman is. Now, does that mean that I don't have anything to do?
Well, no, you're the one that actually holds the contract, the general contract.
Right.
So you're actually the paper man.
I'm the paper man. There you go.
The man whose name really is on the dotted line.
Yeah. Now, especially in construction, but do you think that there's anything that I could maybe do that I may not have to actually show up to the job one day? And I have been on contracts where the prime never showed up one day.
Well, if you got a good contractor,
if you got a good contractor, exactly.
Then really don't have
exactly. So there are situations where you may not have to show up. Believe me, I've been on contracts where the prime never showed up. The prime never came. And I saw a guy today say that that if you grow your business with like the middleman strategy, you can't scale, you can't do this, you can't do that, and that is completely false. That's false because, and I'm not saying that I've done more business than this person who said this. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I've seen large companies and their entire model, the way that they scaled and maintained is by, is by outsourcing and subcontracting everything. So they subcontract.
Which actually takes the actual physical part of the work off of their hand.
Yeah.
But the paperwork still has to go through them.
The government literally hires them to manage people who doing the work. They're not doing none of the work. Their entire job, their contract is only to manage the project. They're managing the project, but they are not doing none of the work. They're coming out making sure it's done within a certain, but they're a multi-billion-dollar company. This is their entire model. They grew so large that they got removed out of the actual labor side and they're only in management, project management, as a matter of fact. So can you do this and can it be scalable? Absolutely, on a small or large scale. I just feel like People get to saying stuff. That's what they think because that's what works for them. But is it possible to do all of these things from another standpoint? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've seen it. That's why I was like, why are we getting upset about somebody using the terminology middleman, right? Because maybe they just need to know how to do business. And somebody said, if I'm out at a conference, because they're at a conference and they want to do middleman government contracts, right? So they ask, hey, how do I, like, I'm up here with these business people and they ask me what kind of business I got. And I can't say, like, I'm trying to, I don't know, I don't feel proper saying to these business people that I do middleman contracts. Cause I don't, that's what my goal is, to be a middleman. But I'm here to tell these people I do middleman contracts. Well, I don't know no other term to use, so I'm gonna say middleman contracts, right? Now imagine somebody who says, that's so stupid, right? Why would you say middleman contracts? You're trying to be a subcontractor, right? They're using the wrong terminology. They want to be a subcontractor, but you're not there either saying, I want to be a subcontractor company. That's not the terminology that you use, right? Staffing. In government contracts, you're either moving product or you're moving people. Either you're selling a product or you're selling people. A service business, anything where you got to supply bodies to do a job, that is a staffing company or staffing contract. If you're providing products, you're selling cell phones to the government or something like that, that's a product. That's a product, right? It's either people or product. You're either staffing or you're pushing product. Those are really the only two, unless you're manufacturing, but most people ain't gonna never get it. Yeah. So it's one of the two. That's what you're doing, right? So once you realize that, it's all the same. It's all the same. So we can make it complicated, we can make it not. But when somebody says, hey, what kind of business are you? Well, are you a plumbing company? Oh, you're not a plumbing company. You just want to be the middleman. So what are you? People ask me, hey, what do you do? I do consulting for the government, or I do staffing for the government. I'm a staffing company. I'm a consulting company. One of those two, because with those answers, I can do all of those things. The government, what y'all want? Y'all need 50 bodies y'all need 50 people to show up to build this wall. Okay, and y'all need what? Y'all need masons, y'all need carpenters, y'all need this, y'all need that, y'all need general day laborers. Okay, and you need 5 carpenters, 5 this. Okay, so I'll figure that out, and then I'll go find the people to do the job. That's just staffing. It doesn't matter if it's that. It doesn't matter if it's litter pickup. It doesn't matter if it's plumbing. It doesn't matter if it's plumbing. I'll go find a plumber that I've checked out, verified. Hey, can you do this work? Are you insured? This and this, this and this. And I'm going to manage that project from that standpoint. That's basically, in layman's terms, middleman. But remember, middleman, in the original way that it was originally described, was from the stance of a prime and not a subcontractor. You do not show up and somebody asks you, even as a prime contractor, if you're in here with me and all of my rich business friends, and they say, what kind of business do you have? You better not say middleman. You better not say subcontractor. I have a subcontractor business. You sound just as dumb. You sound just as dumb. And it ain't your fault that you're dumb. That's why you're watching this video. Matter of fact, send this video to people you know, because they might need to hear the real, okay? And you also don't say, if you sit around in here with all of my rich friends, you don't say, oh, and we say, what kind of business do you have? You do not say that you have a prime contractor business. You sound dumb. You just sound dumb. You sound dumb, all right? It just is what it is, okay? So The proper terminology is, I have a staffing company, or maybe you could say I provide labor for this or whatever, or we build houses, whatever it is. You say that, but if you're saying I just want to be the middleman, I just want to find people and I want to get people, I want to subcontract all the work out to another company and have them do the work. I just want to be the middleman. I don't want to do the actual job itself. I just want to project manage. I just want to manage. I just want to show up and collect the check because it's running through me. That's what they're describing as a middleman. But you cannot describe your business as a middleman. Are you a consultant? Are you a staffing agency? Do you supply products? Because you can also be a middleman. Respectfully, I don't want to make nobody mad because I see people get upset about the term. But can you push product and still be a middleman? Absolutely. Absolutely. The government say we want 1,000 iPhones. And I contact Apple and I say, Apple, I need 1,000 of these. And they say, 1,000? And I'm like, yes. What kind of discount can I get? Can I get a veteran discount on 1,000 phones? Give me something. I'm buying in bulk, okay? Give me $200, $150 off each phone, right? So that's when you do the math, right? So let's say an iPhone is $900. So you get your calculator out, you type in 900. You say, okay, I need 1,000 of them. After they said, hey, we gonna give you $150 off. And you've gone to the $900, right? So $150 off. Let's say the phone was originally like $1,050. They give you $150 off. So now you're at $900 per phone. So 1,000 phones times $900, that is $900,000, okay? That's what they're gonna charge you for the phone, $900,000. So you tell the government, look, I can get you these phones for $950. $950, I can get you these phones. Let's say $950. So that's a $50 profit per phone. So you say, okay, I'm making $50 profit per phone and I sold 1,000 phones. That's $50,000. The government is going to give you $950,000. Apple is going to charge $900,000. Now what happens if you say, okay, well, I'm going to just get a government a discount of $25. So from the original MSRP. So instead of $1,050, you get them a $25 discount because you're telling the government, look, I'm giving you a discount. You're saving $25 on 1,000 phones. That's a discount. That's your bid, right? And they jump on it. So you're making $125 profit per phone, right? $125 profit per phone. And you sell them 1,000 phones. Now you're at $125,000. So Apple charge you $900,000. You charge the government $1,025,000. Your profit is $125,000. And so you negotiate this stuff, and Apple, in that price, Apple will deliver your devices to the location that you desire. That is middleman as it get. That's as middleman as it get. All right? So anyway, I just want to come on here and talk about this, but I'm sure I'm going to have to talk about this a whole lot more. There's going to be some people maybe upset. I've been seeing some of y'all out here, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't hating. I'm just saying, let's use some common sense here, people. People showing up not knowing that they can't say they a middleman business. All right? Like, come on. Come on. Like, we can't blame the word on their stupidity, okay? All right? We all been done for something, I didn't know what a subcontractor was, I didn't know what the law of diminishing marginal utility was until my sister broke it down to terms that I can understand. I was 12, you know? So you gotta, you know, sometimes you just gotta dumb it down so people can understand, but it's not my fault that people still don't get it. You know, when I still see people talk about middleman strategy, the middleman strategy, you mean subcontract, you don't mean middleman. No, that's not what they mean. They mean prime. Even people who've been doing government contracts for 20 years don't understand what middleman mean because they don't, you know, maybe they thinking too high level. They want to use these big words, and the proper terminology in the contracts is subcontract, contract, or prime and stuff like that. That is true. Now that is true. But if we just talking about, you know, the idea to make it more digestible to the masses, it's not really that, they're not really wrong for saying what they saying, you know. It's really simple. Okay? Like, yeah, you get it? Anyway, right now you're watching Casino as a Name. If you find any value in this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we out. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino as a Name.